Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 14 and compare it against the Samsung Galaxy S22 in 2024 and see which particular phone is a better one for you and which one has aged better. Both of these phones came out a couple of years ago, both in 2022. And I'll tell you between both, very, very good phones. I like these phones a lot, but let's go and see how they've aged. If you want to pick up either one of these phones, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, 2022 was an interesting year for phones. We got a lot of different ones available that year. The first one that did come out, though, was the Galaxy S22. So this one did come out, basically early 2022 of that year. And then on the front of this phone, you were getting a 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display. And within this particular phone, this panel was so nice. I used this phone quite a bit. I downloaded some emulators on it, and I was actually able to play it, quite a bit at the time. And this was a very good display. 120 hertz, got fairly bright 1300 nits of brightness for the most part, and hole punch display. It was a little bit of an upgrade coming from the Galaxy S1, but I will tell you this was still a very good phone, and I'm a massive fan of it, and I still think it looks like fairly good in this day and age. Now with the iPhone 14, on the other hand, this phone was a little bit of an upgrade coming from the iPhone 13. So with the Galaxy S21 or the iPhone 14 in this case, you were getting a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. Now with this phone, it's still a 60 hertz panel, so really nothing crazy going on here. It's kind of more or less what you'd expect. But I thought it was a good looking phone. It was a good looking panel for the most part. But like I said, if you're definitely looking at a phone, the Galaxy S22 is going to be a way better one than the iPhone 14. But the 14's panel got very bright, and the notch was smaller, but still a notch compared to the dynamic, compared to the whole bunch display, definitely better on the S22. The rest of the body, interesting as well, because you are kind of getting this different type of layout. You're getting these volume buttons here. You're also getting these like the reflective material on the Galaxy S22, which kind of looks kind of nice. On the bottom, USB Type-C port on the Galaxy S22. On the iPhone 14, you're getting a Lightning port, which again is kind of nice to have. On the back side, this is also something that's very interesting. So on the back, on the iPhone 14, you're getting a dual camera setup, wide and ultra-wide camera. On the Galaxy S22, you're getting a wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto lens. So I would probably tell you when you're looking at both these cameras, the iPhone 14 probably doesn't look as good. We'll talk about that in a second. The glass backs, but the Galaxy S22 was giving you this frosted glass back, which felt and looked very, very nice. I love having a frosted glass back, and you were basically getting that type of capability on the Galaxy S22, which again is a very nice thing to have. Having this type of stuff in the Galaxy S22 is such a nice thing to have, and I'm definitely a humongous fan of that at that. So beyond that, nothing else super crazy going on here. I mean, both had wireless charging. The Galaxy S22 was giving you reverse wireless charging, which is still a really nice feature to have. You're also getting IP certification on both phones. And for the most part, if you're looking at both, you're really not going to be noticing like anything crazy. But both these phones were great, and I still would tell you they both hold up fairly well for the most part. Now, when it comes down to the software longevity or the software between both, and the problem that we kind of ran into with the Galaxy S22 is that, this phone is not going to last as long as the iPhone 14, but it's also not going to last as long as the Galaxy S24, which is the latest and greatest that Samsung just made. And when we take a look at this phone and compare it against what Samsung just did like 2 generations after, you were getting a substantially bigger, longer lasting phone inside of the Samsung Galaxy S24 than the Samsung Galaxy S22. So when you look at the iPhone 14, the thing going on here is that with this type of device, you're getting a phone that still looks and feels very good, but it's going to be lasting for a much longer time than the Galaxy S22. So it's just one of those things that you have to kind of keep in mind, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. So that kind of covers it up there. Now let's do a speed comparison between both. The iPhone 14 has an Apple A15 body chip inside of it with 6 gigabytes of RAM, but the Galaxy S22 has that Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset inside with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go and see which one's a faster phone between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background. So let's get into it. Phone calls 3, 2, 1. Okay, about the same thing. Camera 3, 2, 1. I actually don't know which one was the faster one. It was about the same thing. So do the Play Stores 3, 2, 1. Okay, kind of roughly around the same thing too. Now let's go and kind of scroll through here and see which one's the faster one. And I will say that 120 hertz on the S22 looks so nice, but the 60 hertz on the iPhone 14 still looks like pretty good as well, so not really like anything super crazy there. Hopping out of there, we do have some other apps we can test out as well. Snapchat 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think the S22 is faster there. Let's go and do we do have this Samsung gaming hub where all my games are stored, which is kind of annoying, but I guess it is what it is. So let me go and hop into here. We can load up Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Now with this game, again, not the biggest game in the world, but I love testing it because it's just such like a basic game that I love doing. Hopefully there's not any crazy pop-ups or anything like that. You can kind of see the iPhone 14 did kind of load up this one faster ever so slightly than the Galaxy S22, but the S22 did crash there, right? Why did this phone just crash that? I have no idea why that ended up happening. That was a very, very weird thing. So let's go and hop out of here. Let's do Call of Duty Mobile. 3, 2, 1. Now I hope we don't get into, of course we have some storage permission here, which is crazy because I played this game on this phone before. So now that we're running into these storage issue things, I don't know why that ended up happening. So theoretically speaking, there wouldn't have been this big of a difference, but it's still kind of random that we were running into that type of issue on these types of phones. Going back into here, we can try something like Snake versus Blocks. 3, 2, 1. And the iPhone 14, again, ever so slightly was the faster one. Now, actually playing the game, I don't know if there's going to be like any big differences or anything like that. You can see kind of the same thing. But you can see for the most part, really not too many big differences here. Hopping out of these two, let's go into a different one. Let's go and get into something like, let's see what else we have. Genshin Impact, we can try that one out. 3, 2, 1. Hopefully there's no storage permission things that come up. But we'll just wait until we get into the main display. But I'll definitely tell you between both are very good phones, right? Both are very, very good ones. But you're definitely going to be getting, I don't know if there's like a faster one every time, but the iPhone 14 seems to be kind of the faster one for a majority of the times that I played games on here. So I would probably say if you're going to pick up one, probably the iPhone 14 might end up being the faster one more so than the Galaxy S22. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there as well. Now from the camera side of things, right, if we're going to go and look at the cameras, the cool thing here is that both of them had fairly good cameras when they first came out. So the iPhone 14 dual camera setup, wide and ultra wide camera, the Galaxy S22 wide ultra wide telephoto lens. Now if you're looking at both, I probably will tell you that the iPhone 14 camera on paper probably isn't going to be as good as the Galaxy S22. That's just what happens when you're getting an older phone, or when you're getting a phone between these two, because we're comparing kind of the mid-tier one, but these were kind of roughly around the same price when they first came out. Now, if we take a look here, you can kind of see that the S22, the big advantage of this phone is that it is giving you, right? So it's still giving you ultra wide, and it's giving you a telephoto lens 30x zoom. That's a really, really big feature to have. Now you can film 8K video on here, 4K 60 on the front and the back. You have portrait mode, video mode, a lot of more options here as well, which is a really, really nice thing to have. But I probably would tell you, like, if I'm going to go through and pick up a phone, I definitely do like having a phone like the, Samsung Galaxy S22. I think this camera is far superior. The iPhone 14's camera is still good, like it gets the job done for sure, and it is a very, very sharp, good camera, and I'm a big fan of this. You can see you still have 0.5x zoom here, 5x zoom here, video mode, cinematic mode, slow mode, time lapse, portrait mode, panorama mode. It's still a very good camera, and I'm a massive fan of this camera too. But I definitely do think between both, the Samsung Galaxy S22 is probably the better one. So it's kind of funny because, to kind of wrap it up, I don't really know if there's one phone that's like the better one here, right? There's like areas where the iPhone 14 kind of does a little bit better in. Like I do think in some areas the iPhone 14 is a better phone, and the performance, I feel like the performance of this phone is better. Software improvements for a longer period of time might be better, and maybe stability, less apps kind of crashing on here. But the Galaxy S22 gives you more flagship features like 120 hertz, a better display, I would kind of argue, USB Type-C, you're getting a better camera setup, things like that. But I don't know, like both are very interesting, but I don't know if there's one that has aged better than the other one. But one thing is for sure, it looks like the iPhone 14 might, age better for the next couple of years, since this one will still get software support, but the Galaxy S22 won't. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there as well. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.